Hey Twiddle enthusiasts, Bryant Cook here. Today we're obviously playing Lurrus Lotus Breach, the deck that I've been playing in Modern recently. And I've been playing a bunch of different lists trying to prepare for this video. So I think to understand what I've been testing the last few days, I should describe what people are trying to do to beat us. So Alpine Moon is a card that a lot of people are playing trying to beat Urza Saga. And then Chalice of the Void is a card that people are using to combat the Shardless decks, the Cascade decks, so to speak. So both of those cards are cards that hit us. We are facing a lot of splash damage right now, and I've been trying to figure out how to combat the splash damage. So one thing that I think is that Fatal Push has never been worse than it is right now. While it does answer Dauthi Voidwalker, it doesn't answer either of the aforementioned cards. So what should we do? I initially tried a list with a bunch of engineered explosives, like this one, but a little bit different. And then I tried white, and I tried white just for prismatic ending, and I found that it was a little bit awkward, but I was willing to try it. So I played 2 leagues with white, and it was fine, but it never really impressed me. And then I tried green for Abrupt Decay, and Abrupt Decay seems odd because all the things that prismatic ending would hit, Abrupt Decay also hits. But you can cast it as an instant to blow up a Blood Moon if you float mana, that sort of thing. I did that once. But more importantly, you get Veil of Summer for the control decks and the discard decks, which is pretty nice. So I was trying 3 Veils in the board. But part of the issue with that list is that you had a double fetch shock in order to answer anything with Abrupt Decay. And that was just really painful. So it also made the mana a little bit awkward because in order to support those, I was only running 1 basic land. And I was running an extra fetch land. So I ended up coming back here to the Engineered Explosives space list. And you'll see that there's 3 copies of explosives in the grave or in the sideboard. Talking's difficult, bear with me. So I've come back to this and I've gone okay in leagues. I went 4-1, 3-2. And I think, that's fine. It's certainly better, and it felt better than the other splash color. So I think I'm going to stay on the triple engineered explosives. You'll notice that the main deck has not changed since my last video, except for losing the basic swamp. And then instead we're playing an extra fetch land, I believe. So without Fatal Push being in the deck, I think the importance of the swamp goes down, especially in post-board games. So I think I'd rather have an extra fetch land to ensure that we get our island or a red source, whatever. It's a small change, but that's the only change in the main deck. Then in the board, you'll notice there's 2 copies of Void Snare and 1 copy of Echoing Truth. So one thing I learned playing in the 2K paper event was that I actually really liked having Void Snare as a card to side in, as well as one for a wish target. So instead of having 2 Echoing Truth to bring in, I'm splitting 1 Void Snare and 1 Echoing Truth to sideboard in as bounce spells. So this is because when you have a Wishclaw Talisman, you can, activate it for 1 mana, get Void Snare, maybe bounce that Alpine Moon, and then just go off for 2 startup mana plus whatever mana you would need to win. So Void Snare allows that. It's just a cheaper Wishclaw target. Echoing Truth is obviously the better bounce spell versus Chalice of the Void, but that's why we have 3 copies of Engineered Explosives as well. One thing that might seem a little bit odd is I've gone up to 4 copies of Ave. That's weird, right? But if you're unaware, and our Discord discovered this, so if you're not a part of our Discord, maybe you should join it. You can actually combo off on turn 2, which I didn't realize playing the deck for a month. So what you do is you tap your blue source, and then you play Lotus Field. With the triggered ability to sacrifice 2 lands on the stack, you can Twiddle or Dreamscript this Lotus Field to untap and tap it for mana. So you do this twice, and then you can play Mishra's Bauble, Engineered Explosives into Ave. And a lot of these decks that are bringing in a bunch of hate can't beat 5 Ooze on turn 2. It's pretty sweet. I'm not saying that you should mulligan to this. It's sort of just like a lucky thing. I haven't actually got to do it yet, so I don't know how often this actually happens, but it's a pretty cool line that you can do. I'm just throwing it out there. So having free spells like Engineered Explosives and Bauble with this plan change it a little bit. So I've gone from boarding out Bauble a lot to keeping it in due to the save plan, and instead of boarding out Sleight of Hand more often. Sort of interesting. Maybe in this video I'll get to turn to Ave. That'd be a pretty good clickbait title, right? But yeah, so that's my introduction. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. As you know, I try to do my best to answer every comment that comes in, so I would greatly appreciate that. And while you're down there, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Help support this channel, get this video into that lovely YouTube algorithm, all that good stuff. I mean, you've seen enough videos by now. You know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe. It's simple. And if you want to go to that next level, become a member. We're halfway through August, so you sort of missed part of our promotion. But until the end of August, you get access to all videos early as long as you're a member. Go check that out. You also get a highlighted user profile on our Discord on top of access to our members Discord. So definitely check this stuff out. I would highly recommend it. But then our middle tier, we have 50% off donation decks on top of 2 cyborg guides every single month. And then our top tier, you get everything, but on top of that, you get early access forever and a free donation deck every single month. So make sure to go check that out. All right, so that's my intro. I hope you, oh, I forgot, I'm sorry. Donation decks, theepicstorm.com/donation decks, go check that out. We have card singles, theepicstorm.com/shop. We also have a bunch of sweet Storm swag. I've been receiving a lot of questions. Hey, Bryant, when are the next mini token packs coming in? They've been ordered. I should have them by September 3rd at the latest. So hang tight. New mini tokens are coming. But until then, pint glasses, t-shirts, pens, playmats, whatever, card singles, go check that out. All right, that is officially my intro. Let's play some Magic. See you in match number 1. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the draw. I am in the middle of revealing Lurrus. 5 lands is obviously not ideal. That said, this hand does have access to Lotus. I think we're supposed to keep this? I don't know. I feel better about it if we were on the play. Flooded Strand, interesting. Okay, at least it's not a land. I'll take a Twiddle. I think here we just cast Serum Vision. I think I'm supposed to bottom these. Like, I guess you could keep Bobble to, like, fill up your graveyard and draw cards slowly, but what if they're just not on a slow deck? Like, what if they're actually just, like, is it Blitz or, like, is it Tempo? And then you just, like, wasted a turn, but I don't know. Breach was a good draw. So am I supposed to just jam this Claw into their counter spell? I think I'm gonna pass. What are you doing, opponent? Right. I might actually just, like, go get Lurrus, but maybe that's a bad idea. Another Claw? Okay. I don't expect this to resolve. Well, or it's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna take 2 here and go to 16. Are they just spirits? I don't know. Drawn almost all the fetchables. Guess we could double claw this turn. Okay, so they also have counterspell. So is it just like blue-white flash? 5 cards. Okay, so claws resolved. Good news. Prismatic ending. What it looks like here. Yep. So the play in it right now is to get Lurrus and put it to our hand. Then use Lurrus to try to bring back Claw. I'm gonna hang on to the Slight. I don't really want to shock myself. I don't want to have to give up getting Lurrus this turn. Almost a third of the way through our deck. Almost no fetchables left. Actually, there are no fetchables left. correction. And we've taken a bolt to the face, so we're at 9. We're about to take 2 and go to 7. And I actually played the wrong land last turn. Because if I play Lurrus this turn, I have to shock myself in order to play a claw to the graveyard. See if the Lurrus resolves. Cryptic. Ooh, they found a use for subtlety. So that's not good. So I can't shock myself here. Alright, so they have a burn spell, I'm dead. And this is just like Jeskai Flash. Probably didn't play this game that well. We're at 2 and they have 4 cards in hand. Probably just dead. We're dead to Fire Ice. Or Bolt. I could tap a creature, but I don't think that's really what we want to be doing here. Alright, we're just dead. Like, I don't think you win this game by tapping their creature. So if you're sitting there, like, going like, oh, well, you could be alive if you twiddled one of their threats, that's not winning Magic. Because then, in order to win on our turn, you just need so many things to go right. Like, you have to play Claw, activate Claw, go get Lotus, play Lotus, twiddle Lotus, resolve Breach. And it's just like, you're asking a lot to do with one single on our opponent's talking shit and trash. Real mature. They're just talking a lot of... Never mind. Sorry, I got thrown off by that. But it's just, like, not enough. Like, you need both twiddles. Alright, so... Signing in Aves, we probably want these E's. Board out the slates as I mentioned. I think I like keeping a Perilous Voyage. So, the question is, what do you board out now? And I've lately been boarding out 2 copies of Wish because it can be a little bit clunky, especially when you're bringing in all these 5s. So this keeps the rest of the deck's converted mana cost pretty low. So this is what I've been trying. If you are unfamiliar, I am a part of the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Phil Gallagher and Brian Koval. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, we do discuss other formats sometimes. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Go check us out. All right, we're on the play for game number 2. Opposite problem as last game. Think we keep this? We're going to start by just getting the basic island and casting Serum Vision. We definitely don't need those. Right? I think I'm just going to play Tap Vents this turn. We did just scry 2 fetches to the bottom, so I don't really just want to aggressively fetch here. Okay. They're just going to pass. Yikes. Sometimes it feels like I can't win with these lands sometimes. We went from always being like short on lands to flooding. Okay. I think I might just remove 2 lands from the deck at the end of their turn. 2 lands left. I'm going to hang on to that Thoughtseize. No point in casting it. So I do get a lot of you asking why I don't play a Lotus Field on the board, and I actually made a video on that you can check out in the card above. But what I've been considering recently is, like, would it be the worst idea to possibly play an expedition map? And, you know, have that as an option to get with Wish. Because then you still at least have your 4 in the main deck, and you're not giving up anything, and, like, you're not reducing consistency in the main. So is one map worth it? I don't know. It's just a question I'm asking, but it's just interesting to think about. Bobble. I think I'm going to target myself here. Breach. Is Breach a card I want? Probably. I can also use Breach as just like eat my graveyard, Thoughtseize, Bobble, like just a value Breach. We don't necessarily need it to win the game. Alright, that's all of our fetchables. There we go. Okay, so they can cast Cryptic or Queller. Alright, so let's play this Lotus Field. And Twiddle. And if they counter this Twiddle, they're definitely dead. Alright, so Dreamscript is on the stack, and after seeing their hand, it sort of just confirms that they are in fact Jeskai Tempo. Okay, so just cast a Wish here. Actually, is this a mistake? Because if they Queller this, and then I play Breach, I don't actually have a way of getting Tome Scour. So what I was supposed to do is actually lead on Breach. Okay. So I just learned something. I mean, that's good. Alright, so I'm going to start on Visions. Oh, that was insane. I need to think about this. So I have 8 cards in the graveyard. I can make it 9. I have to Serum Visions one more time. I think it's just top, like Grapeshot being the top one. Because like Grapeshot's essentially the same thing, but I can kill a Queller too if I need to. Like I haven't done the math on if I can just double Grapeshot them. I don't think I can. Tap this for blue. Visions. So it's bottom, top. Okay, so if I cast Grapeshot, okay, so I just missed a deterministic kill. What I could have done was instead of casting Serum Visions off the Lotus, I could have tapped it for red, and then I could have just double Grapeshotted. Instead, I don't have red here. So what I can do is I can cast Grapeshot, deal them a bunch, you'll Queller a bunch. And when Queller dies, I get Tome Scour. So we're still going to win, but it's going to be an extra step. 1, 2, 3, and them. Okay. Actually, I think I have a win where I don't need a Tome Scour here. So what I can do is I can Dreamscript and then just Grapeshot out of the board. Or I can just use the one that's in the graveyard now, I think. Do I have enough cards for that? I'm actually short a card, I think. So now we just cast this Grapeshot. I mean, that was a little bit messy, but it worked. Certainly could have planned that better, that's for sure. Alright, so play poorly, still win. That's how Magic works. Get used to it. Yeah, let's try game 3. Same configuration. Let's see if we can slime time them. I should make new like promo slides because the new mini tokens, there are slime tokens. So if you're interested, there are 10 ooze tokens coming out in the new mini token pack. Like I said, it's not going to be here until around September 3rd, but I can't wait. I'm pretty happy with all the designs. There's also squirrel tokens in there. There's some monks if you're a fan of vintage. Obviously, Monastery Mentor. There's treasure tokens for Strike It Rich. There's an Exile to Galvanic Relay for Legacy. I tried to include a little bit of everything on top of our normal mana and storm. So definitely check that out. Like I said, September 3rd. And if it comes early, I'll definitely post those as well. So keep an eye on social media. You can always join our social media channels. I'll show that right now. We have 7 of them. I'll post all of them when we get it. You can also sign up for our email list. You can do that in the description below. I definitely cover it in there. So make sure to connect in all these places. I do recommend the Discord. Go check that out. All right, so we've opened up Avon Field. We're going to keep this. I don't know if this is going to be a turn 2 slime time. When I went to 5. I think in order for me to turn 2, I'd really want to draw, you know, a 0 and then a Twiddle off my draw step in Serum Visions, but we'll see. There's just a lot of risk doing the turn 2 Ave thing if you can just wait a turn. So I'm not a super big fan of just jamming on turn 2. I do understand that there's more memes involved, but I'd rather win the meme. All right, another Ave. Visions. Ooh, 0. Let's keep this Visions. I'm going to keep this Bobble or Ave. No need to play out the Bobble. Let's keep our Storm count up. Alright, Hallowed Fountain. So, looks like they're trying to be aggressive here, going all the way down to 16. What is this? Rest in peace? Oni Silence. Okay. Well, Bobble, you are only for Storm now. I'm going to get an island to, in case they are a Blood Moon deck, like maybe persuade them to not cast it. Eve number 3. We'll bottom you. We don't need you. Yeah, let's just pass here. When it's down to 3 cards. And they're just passing. Alright, regretting not getting a black source for this Thoughtseize now. Okay, let's just play. Pass the turn. I mean, we do have 8 artifacts in our deck, so Stony Silence doesn't seem unreasonable. They're just going to pass. They thought better. Alright, so we can lead on Thoughtseize now, so I do like that. Takes a little bit of extra damage, but it's worth it. Assuming that they counterspell this, we tap Lotus for 3 blue. What is this? Need to think this through. Alright, I can actually bounce the Queller for more Storm if they play that, so I think I want to get rid of the Aether Gust, since Gust would... what sword I'm trying to find here? Would get rid of an Ave token. Come on, just let it resolve. Alright, so if I bounce this Queller, it untaps our field, but we actually don't have enough mana to do what I'd like to do, which is obviously cast Ave, so I'm just going to pass here. And I think our opponent's probably going to play Rest in Peace. Yep. So now they won't be able to recast the Queller when we bounce it. They just have the Wear turn. Let's bounce this. Alright, now we get to cast Dream's Grip. We have 5 mana, which means that I can just play the Steam Vents tapped and not need to shock. And slime time. Nice rest in peace. Nice stony silence. Get slimed. We have another slime in reserve, too. Alright. Another field. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to flash in Spellcrawler and block the 2/2, and then I can just cast the other Ave. But I don't even know if I want to cast the other Ave. Because I think they're out here is like Supreme Verdict, maybe? Okay, so what are they doing? I just don't think there's any reason to play into the route. Like, I'd rather just sit on the other Ave. Okay, so we're going to win. Look at that. We're 1-0. Our opponent talked trash, and then they lost the match. That's what happens. Don't run your mouth. We're 1-0. I'll see you in match number. All right, we're on the play for match number 2. Let's reveal our companion, our modern commander. Yup. Keep. Hell yeah. Sign me up. This hand is great. No need to get the grave first when we know that we have the turn. Probably don't need multiple permission spells. I'm wondering about this land. I think we actually want the land though. And it's weird because you think like you have the 2 lands you need for field, but it's so much better when you have a 4th land for when you untap with field to win. Interesting. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna jam Claw here. Yes, I would like to shock myself into this lovely Wishclaw Talisman. The Monkey's Paw. I have like 36 Japanese foil Wishclaw Talismans. I got them all for less than $1 when the set came out. I was like, there's no way that this card's worth $1. Too good. They're up to like $4 now. Woo. But I'm going to sit on my claws until they're worth all the monkey's paws. How many paws could I get? Van Reanimator? Kind of spicy. Do I have a win here? I probably do. So let's think through this. So I can blue. Yeah, I definitely have a win here. Twiddle. So what I can do is get Breach with Wishclaw Talisman, and then use Wish for Tome Scour. Or you could also do it the other way, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to do it this way because I can. Breach. Get out of here, Reanimator. Yeah, that for blue. Cast Wish. Get that Scour. And just like that, we will be taking game number 1 over what I'm guessing is Reanimator. Okay, now we just have to execute the combo. So if you're not super interested in watching this, you can probably skip ahead. But I need to actually go through the motions of winning. Some of you have mentioned that you don't want to watch me click through executing once I have it, and that I should edit that out. I'll be honest with you, I'm too fucking lazy for that. So if you are that bothered by watching me click through winning the game, just skip ahead. It's not a big deal. Okay, another. Okay, so we have 9 cards. I can go Twiddle, Grapeshot. No, I think we're 1 card short of that. I think I'm 1 card short. I think this might do it. We have 8 cards. I can Grapeshot now. Here are the Grave Thoughtseize Twiddle. Boom. Dave from Austin, Texas. Would you like these grape shots? How do they taste? Do they taste like they're signed with blood? All right. So we've got game number one. I don't really know what Reanimator would even play, if I'm being honest. I'm guessing we probably want bounce spells. I don't know if we like these cards here. I think we probably just want to hedge a little bit with those. Worried about possibly discarding their threats with Thoughtseize, if I'm being honest. So like maybe we could board those out. Plus, like in discard mirrors, you don't really want a whole bunch of discard. Maybe it's just those two for 2 Inquisition. Like the best thing you can do in discard mirrors is to just not have discard. It goes back to like the 2012, 2013 Jund mirrors in Modern. And the thought philosophy was you just want to draw live cards, so you board out all your discard for just haymakers. So that way in the late game, your opponent's drawing discard, you're drawing bombs. Not a turn 3, but I think I'm going to keep this. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. Might be looking for Leyline. Alright, no Leyline. Don't mind a bounce spell. Okay, 3 fetchables left. Let's keep that in mind. Perfect draw. I think we bottom the Twiddle just because we need to hit an action spell now. Target them. Leyline of the Void. Perfect draw. Sure. You got it. Tome Scour. So now we just need a breach. I think I like just playing that tap. Like I could shock myself, but why? Like it just doesn't make any sense. So we know that they have 6 cards. One of them is a Leyline of the Void. You have bombs. So something I could do is actually I'm just gonna bounce the Ratchet Bomb, I think. They get to scry off this too. So another option was to Tome Scour myself and then play Lotus Field, and then next turn play Lurrus and hope to mill over a breach. But I can just like get the value off of the Perilous Voyage and then just grab Lurrus next turn. All right, and now they have mana to hardcast Leyline. Yep. So I could have held on to this, but I mean, maybe my play was a little aggressive. Entirely possible. Let's get our commander. We still have 2 more bounce spells. I'm not super worried about Leyline, if I'm being honest. Cascading Cataracts is interesting. I don't really know what that's for. Apparently the Urgolos deck. There's probably some Lord Eldrazi in there. Let's do this thing. So Breach would still win the game if we drew it. Not Breach. Guess I play the Bobble, or play Cat in a Bobble. So 1 fetchable gone. 2, 3, 4. There's still another land in there that we can go get. And part of the reason that I wasn't afraid of playing the Perilous Voyage was that I knew that like any breach at any point now answers this Leyline. I'm not blocking Golos. 7 mana. Is like a drain life? What's going on here? They're activating the cataracts to make a bunch of mana to then activate Golos. You figured it out. That's pretty good. You can guess one or all. All of them, nice. Sure thing. So we're not in the position of draw, breach, or lose. When it still has some mana floating, solemn, that's fine. We do get to scry with our turn and bobble. Okay. I wonder if this is more mono black control than Reanimator. Alright, let's bobble ourselves, see if we can find a hit here. Looks at another Mishra's Bobble, so we're going to fetch. Alright, so we have a bunch of cards that win the game. They're all mostly right here. Wishclaw, Wish, Breach. First draw. Not a good one. Okay, so that gives us some life. So I guess we just cast spells and figure out what we can do. Alright, so let's start off by just doing the things that we know that we can do. And that's activate Wishclaw. So now we get Underworld Breach. Cast Breach. I'm going to burn a Twiddle and untap this Lotus Field. And you could spend time doing all the math to see if you could do this. But the truth of the matter is you lose the game if you can't. So there's no point in just sitting there running down the clock. So just go through the motions, save yourself some clicks, some thought, mental energy, and just, you know, like, just do it. So sometimes you can just sit there and you can rack your brain around it, or you can just take action. And we just happen to be lucky enough to have Tome Scour in our hand. Target ourselves. And it's looking like we're going to win this. Where's that Twiddle effect? Okay. Now we scour. Scour again. From 10. Find the Dream Script, untap Lotus. Right. Tome Scour. Mill. Always be paying attention to how much mana you have floating, by the way. And I've mentioned this in a few of my videos now, but I was on a Hangouts call with some friends, and I was joking around, and by Hangouts I mean Discord. I was on a Discord call with some friends, and I was joking around and I wasn't paying attention. I triple scoured myself. Remember, you do have to cast Dream Script in between. Okay. So this will hit our last 5 cards in our library. Alright, so we are now hellbent with our deck. Our deck is hellbent. I believe that's how the terminology is properly used. That means that we can exile Tome Scour. Twiddle. That leaves us with 7 cards, which is enough to double Grapeshot. I think if you were playing smartly, you would leave it so that a surgical on your graveyard doesn't stop you from casting this, because hypothetically our opponent could surgical Twiddle right now, and that would be bad for me. So if you were smarter than I am, you would want to leave one of each card. I'm just misplaying all over the place tonight, but that said, misplaying is resulting in match wins. So maybe if you misplay enough, it's a double negative. I believe those are the right words and whatnot, but hey, we're 2-0. How are you going to argue with math? See you in round 3. Once again, we are on the play for the 3rd match against Grinder A. All right, reveal our Lurrus. I mean, this hand just really needs a Twiddle. I'm gonna lead on Misty. We can fetch for Watery Grief on the end step, and then next turn fetch for Island and play Wish Claw. What are you on, opponent? I don't know what Copperline Gorge represents. Maybe Dredge? Could just be like Moon, like a red-green Moon deck. That made me feel sad. Do not moon me. So now we're going to get the basic island. Claws. What are you playing? No clue. Actual zero idea. This could literally be anything. I just don't know. Yeah, I got nothing. Alright, so with this sleight of hand, we either want to find a Twiddle or a Lotus. Another land is not ideal. I think I'd cast sleight of hand, because if I hit Lotus, I want to play it. Tome Scour is actually okay. And I think I just honestly want to fetch and kill the Dragon Rage Channeler. Wait. Still looking to draw Twiddle or Lotus on our next draw step. If we draw either of those, we have a win. That was weird. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but it just like glitched up. Okay. Team Vents. You are full of surprises, opponent. Brennan 6, okay. Am I supposed to know what this is? Oh, geez, another land. So they probably have a main deck Needle, so I think I'm supposed to just go get Claw here. Or go get Lotus, I mean. It stinks because, like, they can just go get Soul Guide or something, but I need access to find this Lotus. So now their Saga pops, they can get a Needle or a Soul Guide or something. Alright, they're gonna make a Construct. And there's the Soul Guide. Interesting that they chose Grapeshot. I actually think that the sleight of hand has more value, but that's okay. Turn a land. So best draw is still Twiddle. I would love to draw Twiddle. Deck is not like me right now. So what I can do is I can play Breach. If they respond, we Tome Scour ourselves begging to hit Twiddle. I can also play Lotus Field to sack these. And if they let it happen, we just cast Sleight of Hand looking for Twiddle. Sleight of Hand. Backup Breach. I'm at 10 now. I think we lost this one. Guess I take the Claw because they're going to kill me on the crackback. Okay. Now I can Sleight of Hand again. I think we still just want to Twiddle here. We found a Twiddle. I don't know if I can actually do anything meaningful here, but I'm just going to cast spells. Give our opponent the opportunity to mess up. I'm going to hold priority and Twiddle this. 7 cards. So I just want to think about this a little bit. So I can Tome Scour again. And they could, in theory, Soul Guide me right now. So now I would have to hit really well in order to win, I think. Alright, no Twiddle. So I think if I hit a Twiddle off this one, I'm good. Twiddle? Twiddle, twiddle, twiddle. Twiddle? No Twiddle. So I think what we do now is we just like target ourselves again because it puts an extra card in the graveyard, and then we triple bobble. No Twiddle's there either. Do I keep that? I don't know. I think I'm just dead no matter what. We actually ended up having a chance to win that game if I hit off the Tome Scour, and I just didn't. Yeah, and they still have 9 power, so plus the Ren and then whatever they wanted off Claw. Alright, so we're going to lose game 1 against whatever this deck is. I just don't know. RUG artifacts, RUG good cards, whatever you'd like to call it. And I think that this is probably a matchup where we want Eve. Oh, I didn't mean to click on the IOK. I actually think I'm going to end up boarding out the discard spells. Alright. So board those out. I think pretty much I just want a deck that's full of bombs. So I think I'm going to board like this. Just don't try to interact with them. Just try to do my own thing. Based on what I saw, like, there's not really a whole lot of cards I want at Inquisition anyway. Sure. One is taking a mulligan. And once again, we're going to start off by going to get Island. I like having 2 islands in the deck just because it reduces the amount of early game damage you do to yourself. I think it's supposed to be slight. Like, you could take the Tome Scour, but I don't know. Like, I think slight does better when our game plan isn't defined yet. I'm going to... Okay, I want to make sure they don't get Delirium first, but my plan is to Grapeshot the hell out of that channel. I mill the Saga. Sure. Twiddle's a good draw. That Steam Vents. Okay. Stomping Ground. He didn't dash. Okay. Sure. I think we lead on the Slight. I think I might just double Visions this turn and not expose the Lotus Field. Alright, so Finding Claw is good. Then Visions, and then remember that we have to exile a card to Ragavan. Does this win? So hypothetically, we let them take Bobble. We put Claw on the bottom, or Claw underneath Bobble like this. So then the next turn, we start off on 3 mana, play Lotus Field. We Twiddle Field. That brings me down to 2 mana, 5 mana, 7 mana. Wish Claw with 8, possibly 9 cards in graveyard. Twiddle, Twiddle. Wish Claw for Tome Scour. That's a win. We just have to hope that our opponent doesn't do anything meaningful. All right, Rag's getting in there, and they are choosing to not equip the soul or the Shadow Spear. And they might know something is up, considering I was letting them have Bobble. Oh, they found Alpine Moon. That's brutal. I guess the silver lining is that I didn't play out Lotus Field already. All right. Yep. So we can just cast a Claw here. And pass. And then next turn we can use Claw to go give Void Snare. To bounce the Alpine Moon. And then with our other Claw we get Breach, but then we sort of have to piece together a win. It's not, as of right now, it's not a deterministic win, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Wish. Yikes. Have anything good in your sideboard, opponent? Although if they do cast this and then we do our goal well, that Wish being in the graveyard actually gives us a deterministic kill. They've cast it. What are they getting? 3 available mana. A Soul Guide. So that's going to stop our deterministic win. Interesting that they kept a Soul Guide in the board. Okay. Interesting. Just trying to think here. Like, I do have Ave as an option, but I'm giving them Ave, or I'm casting Ave for 5 for 6. But they'll also have 2 claws to fight back. So let's just think through if I wanted to do this. Activate Wishclaw Talisman, cast Void Snare, bouncing Alpine Moon. Grip, Wishclaw 8. Like, the math checks out. I think we're supposed to do it. Ooh, I could also just get E for 1. That blows up, like, their entire board. So, if I get E for 1, then I have to break the delta. Then I start with untap Lotus Field. This is add 3, go up to 5, 7, 9. That's enough to Ave still, if my math is correct. Cast EE, activate EE. 3, 5, 7, 9. Math checks out. Maybe I was supposed to fetch first. That might be a misplay. Okay. Now we twiddle. I think I'm just going to cast Claw now, just in case they have something crazy in their hand that I wasn't expecting. Alright, not the case. No need to show them the green yet. Now we add green. Slime time is coming back to a Moto screen near you. Slimes. That was lovely. Alright, can we stay alive against Double Claw? We are at 9 life. So, I don't... Okay, well, they conceded. So if they had a Bolt in hand, they could go Bolt you, activate Claw, Bolt you, activate Claw, Bolt you. But looks like Ave did some damage there. Big fan of that. We got to use explosives, so kudos to our deck for having cards in it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to resubmit. Our opponent's deck is funny because it's literally just the best cards in Modern all in one deck. I have to ship this. There's no way I can keep triple Lotus Field. How crazy am I? So if we draw Ave and a land, we can do the Ave trick. Ugh. I'm gonna keep it. I think you're supposed to get rid of the E, just because it's so mana intensive. Really looking to just draw a land for our first turn. Also, if they want to turn one Alpine Moon, that means that we can use the Lotus Field to cast these cantrips. They're doing it, so now we can use Lotus Field to cast the cantrips. But I feel bad for not keeping the E now. We do have some bounce spells in the deck. Ding. Find some lands. Oh, there's slime! We're gonna bottom these just because we need lands. Alright, let's find some lands. There's a Saga, okay. Soul Guide, sure. We just need to draw an untapped land. They might be holding up like Mystical Dispute. I'm not sure. There's our land. So we can just pass here, on their end step, bounce Alpine Moon, and then reevaluate. Another Saga. 3 cards in hand. Now I'm going to attempt to bounce that Alpine. Okay, that's good. Alright, so we could try to brute force through this Soul Guide Lantern, but I almost feel like that's a mistake. Or we could just use Ave. Could also entwine this Dream's Grip. And then figure out what I want to do. So they allowed it to tap. So we're at a pretty important stage in this game. I can play Sleight of Hand into Ave, and then just like we battle ooze tokens versus the constructs. Or I can try to win via Breach. I can still Sleight of Hand and then make a decision after that. So why don't we cast Sleight of Hand here? Voyage. Have I played a land? I have not. So I could play Breach, and then if they respond, I can just ooze. But I don't hate that. They're F6'd. Alright, so I guess we're not winning via ooze? Alright, we're just winning the normal way. Exile some cards, cast another Scour. And at this point, we can just twiddle on the Lotus Field. Wish, E. Their opponent's going to concede. 3-0. Look at that. Get out of here, Alpine Moon. Back-to-back games. Lotus defeats Alpine Moon for 3-0. I've already said that. I don't know. If you've had enough of me, you can probably just close the window now. But instead, you could stick around for match number 4, which is coming right on up. All right, match 4. We're on the draw, revealing our Lurrus. All right, go away, bar. The sand's pretty good. We'll keep this. Just need to draw into a black source to cast this Wish Claw. We have a few cantrips. We can make that happen. Is this humans? It is. I haven't faced humans in a while. I imagine that it's not very, very favorable. Visions. Guess we keep the Breach. Hope that our opponent names some wrong cards, because it's probably the only way we're going to win. Okay. Tavern. Not the wrong Thalia card. So if you want to go for the beatdown plan, I am all for it. I'm going to use Bobble now. Probably should have used it on turn, but whatever. So they have 3 cards in hand. We're going to get to see their draw step. Ancient Ziggurat. That's one that I am fine with you having, opponent. There's a chance we can win on our turn. Will require a little bit of luck, but that's what I'm here for. Alright, so they still have the 3 cards in hand. We knew about Ancient Ziggurat. So they're all in on the beatdown. So our best draws are Lotus Field, another Twiddle, exactly Tome Scour. That's probably the list. Alright, so we get a draw off Bobble, land not good, land not good. Let me do anything here. So I can activate this for... We might just be dead. So I can activate for Lotus Field, Twiddle Field, play Breach, but then I can't do anything. So I think I am supposed to slide a hand praying to hit exactly Lotus. That's not good enough for dead. I guess I can actually Twiddle the big creature and hope to live. I think that's the game plan, is hope to Twiddle the large one. Okay. So instead of conceding, I found a way to possibly win this. Okay. So we know whatever was in their hand is not a 2-mana creature. We're at 9. Yes, I would like to tap your creature. Alright, so we are drawing Lotus. We can float 2 mana, play Lotus, use Wishclaw to go get another Twiddle. Untap Lotus, play Breach, Twiddle, Twiddle, Wish. That's the line. Nothing from the opponent. We got so lucky that our opponent just drew... Well, I guess they might have drawn something here. Rebooter. Alright, well, we have 2 Breach. So they can't take the Lotus that we just drew. They can't take Breach. So I think they're actually supposed to take Wish, and they agreed. Okay. We're going to have to get a little bit lucky to win this now. Okay. Play Breach. So we have to hit off Sleight of Hand. Okay, tap that for mana. Now we cast Sleight. Turn, Visions, Twiddle. Another Sleight. Yeah, we just have to take the Sleight. Does that do it? We don't know. So I could Twiddle the Lotus Field. I think we just have to do it. Like, I can't do anything else, so let's just do what I can do, right? Okay. So, tap this for blue. We're at 5. Alternatively... Wait, that doesn't work. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm just dead. I'm a card short. So I can kill the freebooter, go to 3 cards in graveyard. This isn't Spellcaller. I don't get to cast Wish for free. So I can't escape again. That means I can't twiddle. I'm dead. Even without a hate bear, they got us in game 1. The aggressive draw. Alright, so I like explosives. Like that. Alright, so I do like discard here. It's tough because their deck is often so dense, but Thalia is the one that matters the most. So I found that just making sure they don't have Thalia goes a long way. We're out the sleight of hands here. And you want to keep baubles because they're a 0 mana play. Look at all of these ones. We're not going to have time to cast all the ones, so let's keep bauble in. Just be a little more, you know, quick, fill up the graveyard, that sort of thing. Yeah. You could leave one E in the board to wish for, but I think it's just better to have it in the main. And maybe just board out Thoughtseize. I mean, it's not like you really want to be dealing yourself damage. And I don't think we want to cut into our combo at all. I think I'm okay with this. You could also board in like one Ave to like use for Wishclaw on the face of Thalia or something, but I don't think we're actually going to beat them in the like ground creature attack strategy. So instead, let's just, you know, do this. And humans isn't a great matchup by any means. So we were lucky to be in a position to win game number 1, and unfortunately we just missed. That first slight would have hit, we could have won. You might be thinking like, well, if you cast Serum Visions, the problem with Serum Visions is that it's a random draw, and every, you know, card matters so much right there. Like if I had drawn a land, I was flat dead. Where Serum Visions give you some card quality. Lurrus again. This is fun. Think I want to fetch shock. Lost last game by a card not being in the graveyard, so it's 1 damage extra here. Get out of here, Thalia. Next up, Meddling Mage. Okay. Cast the bauble. I'm going to hang on to the bauble because I can use it to sculpt with myself. So they're on the beatdown plan again. Well, based on their draw. It's not like they wanted to be on the beatdown plan. Alright, so we've still got 2 aces right here. We just need to draw a Twiddle and then a way to find Tome Scour. Yep. So they have Recruiter and 1 Unknown. I'm just going to bobble myself now. Another Mishra's Bobble. I'll just F6. I could play Lotus Field here. Maybe I should have done that. Okay. They're on nothing. We have the EE to buy some time. I can also get Lurrus next turn. Another champion. So our EE is going to be a 3-for-1, but they'll still have a 3/3 left over. So I'm definitely not getting Lurrus. At least not right now. Yep. Okay, so no 2-drop drawn off that. That's good. All right. We're going to 6 right now, assuming that they don't draw anything good. Oh, freebooter! All right, so another EE would be our best draw right now. We're going to 5, and then they have lethal. Damn. You got me, opponent. Good games. We are now 3-1. The final match of this league, we're on the draw for match number 5. Our opponent, you know, obviously being on the play, did not reveal a companion, so I have no clue what they're playing. This hand doesn't really have a path to Lotus Field, But we do have a lot of interaction to buy time. I think I'm okay keeping this, but it's not like a stellar keep. It's just, you know, a reasonable 7. Keeping this. One Harbor. I'm going to bobble them just for a little bit of info before I cast one of these discard spells. Prismari Command. That's an interesting one. Inquisition. RUG Rhinos. You just discard the Outburst, right? They have 5 cards, so they're drawing a command, and then those other 5. Just want to make sure that I got it correct. Scour is not the best draw, but it is what it is. Suspending of Footfalls, okay. I think I'm going to go get Steam Vents here. I think we're supposed to take Bone Crusher. Alright, now we're in a spot where we really need to draw a Lotus. I do plan on putting Lurrus in my hand if we draw a blank next turn. So this is interesting because they have Prismari Command. So what I think we're supposed to do is just activate it immediately and go get Lotus. Now all we need is a Twiddle effect. They have 2 commands and 2 unknowns. Okay, so they have a command. I don't think there's any tricks that they could do with it. Like, destroy it, create a treasure, active, like that. None of that works. Alright, so if our opponent doesn't have anything here, we win. Alright, Twiddle is on the stack. I mean, they could Prismari Command to draw 2, discard 2 into like a Force of Negation. And if this gets countered, we can still put Lurrus to our hand. Okay, so we're going to Twiddle. I don't know what they're waiting for here. Does this loot make a treasure? Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, dig for Force of Negation, or did you draw Force of Negation previously? Alright, so they're drawing 2 and then making a treasure. So they could discard 2, and if they have Force of Negation, they could cast it. Alright, we just have the Tome Scour, so it should be easy peasy. Right. Twiddle. I haven't done the math yet, but I'm wondering if I have enough mana and cards in yard to double Grapeshot from here. So we have 9. Grapeshot for 8, Grapeshot for 9. That's 16. So I think I'm supposed to just cast a few more spells. So Twiddle will bring me back down to 9, and then double Grapeshot will do it. Okay. Shots. Cool. Big fan of E in this matchup, by the way, because if it's not blowing up Alpine Moon, it's 2-for-1ing. I guess it's not really a 2-for-1, but you get 2 Rhinos, so it feels like a 2-for-1. But still really just a 1-for-1. But yeah, E is very good in this matchup. That was the point of what I was trying to say there. Whoop. There's a Grapeshot. Alright, so game number 1 over RUG Cascade. I like these. I don't know how I like Ave in this matchup or not. I haven't played it enough to have a strong opinion. I definitely like Echoing Truth. 8 cards, so I'm fine getting rid of at least one wish. Maybe the Perilous Voyage. Just because Echoing Truth is the better 2-mana bounce spell in this deck. Against this deck due to the Rhinos. Taking out Force Lights. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Consider comes out, because I think with Consider, maybe you go to boarding out Serum Visions, which seems nuts. We can definitely board out Grapeshot, because we're boarding in the win conditions in Ave. And now you have a choice on, like, do you only bring in one bounce spell, or do you board out another Wish? And I think it's Wish when you're bringing in a bunch of action with Aves. Let's submit. I've definitely changed my boarding philosophy a little bit throughout playing this deck. I don't board the same way all the time, and I'm always experimenting with like new board strategies. So if you want to grow as a player, that's what you do. That's why I don't like have a public sideboard guide. Like if you're a member of this channel, I will make you a sideboard guide for how I'm currently boarding then, but it's not how I'll be boarding in a month from now. There's a good chance. It's like the same hand we kept last game, except now we have an E. Sure. Going on 5. Misty Rainforest. No turn 1 Rhino this time. And I think I'm just going to not shock myself to play this Thoughtseize. I'm just going to bobble myself and then see if I want this card. I still want to put Water Grave into play tap, so maybe I should do it first. I don't know. But if that card's Lotus, I'm probably willing to shock myself. Void Snare. I'm going to pass on the Void Snare. Okay. Another Bobble. Thoughtseize. What you got? Dispute. Is Dispute a card I even care about? I think I'm going to hang on to this Thoughtseize for now. Interesting, they got a basic. So there's a good chance that they have Blood Moon in their deck. Bobble. Island. I'm going to fetch the island away. And I think I'm actually going to get my own island now, just because I want to be able to have some options against Blood Moon. Okay. Should I play the E for 0 to protect myself from... But also just like proactively play it for 3 to like hedge against Moon. I'm gonna cast Thoughtseize, see what they do. Another Dispute, okay. Just need to find a Lotus. Yeah, okay, so next turn I think I'm gonna play E for 3. Crashing Footfalls. Yep. I don't know if they'll counter it any for 3, but it does give me some protection from a top-decked Moon. Whoops, that's not how I want to cast that card. Black, red, blue. So the problem with this is that they do have Prismari Command in their deck, so if they draw Command, they just have an answer, but am I supposed to wait 4 turns for that Cascading Footfalls to unsuspend, or am I supposed to protect myself from Blood Moon? So we are now with a quarter of the way through our deck, no Lotus Field yet. Void Snare. Could play Wish to see if they'd counter it. But that feels like throwing away a card. I think I'm just going to pass. So the Rhinos unsuspend next turn, 2 turns. Okay. So there's some Rhinos. So I can draw a counterspell by using Void Snare on E. So they'll probably dispute this. Yep. So I can go to 11, play Breach, Void Snare, down to 5. If I go to 11, I would go to 1. And I would get 1 extra draw off Bobble. So to me, I don't even know if it's worth. Why am I not smart enough to figure this out? So I go to 11, they have 10 damage. Is there a difference between being at 1 and 3? So I'm going to burn Breach here. I don't know if I'm going to Void Snare this because it doesn't actually change the clock. So instead, I think I just want to use Baubles to get ahead. Like, try to draw something off these Baubles. I guess I can keep that around. Alright, so let's Bobble them. They have the Fire Ice, so I think that means that I'm supposed to Twiddle one of their creatures on their turn, or else I'm dead. That stinks. Okay, so now I have to waste a Twiddle on one of their threats. So I will draw my cards. Misty. We hit the field. Now I have to burn a Twiddle. And they can tap my red source, which is actually kind of annoying. We go to 6. Or, I'm sorry, we take 6, go to 5. They have 1 card in hand, and it's Fire Ice. They're going to tap and then hope to draw an action spell. Yep. Okay. Can we do anything meaningful here? So I guess it's always the same thing. Do what we can do first. So let's just float mana and play Lotus Field. Then Twiddle this. So Wish in a Breach is 5 mana. We don't have, or I'm sorry, it's 5 mana plus 1 to untap, so we need 6. We only have 5. So what I can do here is I can 8 for 3. And use those as blockers. And then next turn I have 6 mana for a win. Alright, opponent, what do you have? You're taking a long time here. Make me nervous. Right. They have 1 card. Now they get 2 more Rhinos. Yep. Need them to have blanks. If they have nothing, I think we win. But if they have pretty much anything, I think we're dead. So I need to block the Choo-Choo with the Choo-Choo. 4/4, 3/3. They trample over for 1. We go to 4. And then we go to 3. So we're dead to a Bolt effect. But I don't think this deck actually plays 3 damage burn spells. Our opponent conceded. That's weird. Do they know that we have Wish? I don't know why they conceded. Maybe I'm missing something, but we went 4-1. That's pretty cool. You know, I'm not going to knock that. We were going to win on our turn. But, I mean, maybe they have that foresight. But, yeah, this is what I've been playing. I've been happy with E. Like, pretty happy. You did see it blow up an Alpine Moon and some other stuff. we got to showcase it a little bit. We got to cast Ave multiple times this league, so that was pretty sweet. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe and become a member. We're almost to 40 members, so that means we get to unlock another emote 4 people away. Join us. I would greatly appreciate that. Keep storming and have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.